Hey everyone, this is Ro from ZeroToRockstar.com. Checking in for the week. Saturday morning right now, 8:07 a.m. where I'm at. Just having my cup of coffee, have my notes in front of me. The notes are just there to help me kind of cover some topics I kind of want to cover for this video. It's not set in stone. So what you should be seeing right now is a clip of me drawing my grid series. It's been a while since I actually did one of these. In fact, if you go to my Instagram, I think it's been the last post for it was just a little over a year ago. Little over a year. Because it might be 2 years. It doesn't matter. Either way, 1 year, 2 years, it's just way too long. So it's been nice to actually get back to working on these. I'm actually planning on doing another one today. I believe I worked on it about an hour. I know it's not nearly as much as I'd like to, but it's still better than nothing. So it's a start. Also, it took me some time to find a portfolio where I have these pieces stored, and that's the problem about getting back into the swing of things. While it's in my head right now, the first video that I uploaded last week, from coming back from that long break, it took me some time to just put that together, and it's not because of the difficulty level, it's more because my files were kind of all over the place. In terms of organization, it was organized in a way that made sense at the time, that last time that I created a video, but it doesn't quite work for me right now. So most of my time was actually spent reorganizing it, deleting certain clips that I recorded that I had meant to use back then, and just kind of starting off from scratch. I also decided to go ahead and start making templates again, just to improve the workflow and kind of cut back on the time on post-production. That includes thumbnails. I actually changed my thumbnails twice, and I'm not too sure looking at it now that I'm still perfectly happy with the one I used, but I didn't want to dwell on it too much. I wanted something up quick, and it was fine by my standards at the time, but it's always going to be improving. I think I like the background for the thumbnail, but I think I'm going to toy around with the colors and the fonts, or just little things like that. Things that can easily take up more time than it needs to. So the last week, I basically start my week in my planner from Sunday to Saturday. So today would be the end of the week I'm discussing right now, because it's Saturday. So this past week, got some notes I made here. I had a massive energy slump midweek, and I think it's possibly due from consuming too much sugary stuff. We still have a lot of cookies from the holidays, like one of those tin boxes with those gift tin boxes with chocolatey stuff, and it's just you pick on it. And I usually don't have a sweet tooth. However, it's there when I'm having my tea. I grab a couple. Before you know it, I've eaten like 4 or 6. So I gotta cut back on that. I've actually noticed that I've had, instead of my usual 1 cup of coffee a day, there were a couple of days where I had an afternoon one. And I even had one of those frappuccinos one day, just to give me an energy boost, it's not something I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to basically keep my caffeine consumption to 1 cup a day. And I've been for the most part, successful with it. Uh, if you talked to me 2-3 years ago, I was drinking way too much coffee. I drank too much Red Bull, all that stuff. It's just not good. I have high blood pressure, so I had to really curb that stuff. The energy slump, yeah, I kind of noted that on Wednesday when it was happening. It was just really bad. I got really, really tired, like almost fatigued, sleepy. You can probably hear my cat in the background. That means somebody's probably up and walking around, and the cat's wanting attention. What else? Also, I have in my notes here, I'm trying to control and limit my media consumption, meaning mostly like, TV programs. I have certain things that I watch, but we DVR it and get back to it when we have time. One of those shows is The Walking Dead. It's not on air right now, so that frees up time. We watched The Good Doctor, which we're behind on for a whole bunch of episodes, but I'm not too worried about that. We watched Prodigal Son 2, which is coming on, I think, this coming week. And I also watched a lot of those paranormal investigation shows. I like the Dead Files, so but I don't believe that's been on. If it has, I haven't been aware of it. But I've been a little more conscious about what I spend my time on in terms of TV, movies, that sort of thing. I'm not really a big fan of TV anymore. It's just, for the most part, I'm not interested in a lot of the stuff that's being shown. I tend to watch the same movies over and over if it's on, and I have it playing in the background because it's kind of it's so familiar. It's become white noise. It's not very distracting. But one of the things I watched this week was a Guillermo del Toro interview done by Robert Rodriguez. So apparently our cable service finally has El Rey, which I'm really excited about. I've been wanting to have El Rey for a while now since it came out. And Guillermo del Toro was featured in a director's chair episode. And this is an old interview, you can tell. I think I've watched this before too, when it first originally aired. But it's just been nice to kind of rewatch it. So I had it DVR'd, watched it later on that day, and you almost kind of want to take notes on it. It's just so filled with a lot of wisdom from all his experience and years of writing, creating, being an artist, journaling, directing, everything. So that's actually what I'm doing. I'm rewatching it and taking, little notes here and there about things that I feel are, very relevant as far as creativity goes. Well, one thing that jumped out while I was watching it was for his movie Kronos. He said that it was difficult enough to find people that would back him, but once he found backers, even then it was kind of a challenge to get it made, because it took 4 years of rejection, which equates to about 20 drafts of the screenplay before the movie got started. Like, just kind of let that sink in. 4 years of rejection, 20 drafts of the screenplay. That's persistence. Having your vision, just kind of, you believe in what you see and you want to make it be part of reality. So you kind of push forward with it even when nobody sees what you see. I kind of love that. I just took notes of it and I have it in my notebook right now. There were plenty more, but I was actually having breakfast as I was watching this, and I didn't have a notepad in front of me, and I didn't want to keep pausing the DVR and kind of interrupt the flow, so I kind of watched it, typed notes in my phone when I could, and this has been nice. I also posted on Instagram, I think I posted a picture of the book Cabinet of Curiosity by Guillermo del Toro. Just reading through that, I was gifted a whole stack of his books a year ago, and still haven't gone through it, so I think I'm going to be studying those and just kind of devouring it. It's just Del Toro is a source of inspiration for many people, myself included. So I'm checking in on time. It's about 10 minutes 25 seconds long, so I have a couple of minutes to wrap this part up, and then I'm gonna go to the to-do list and see what I've actually tackled this past week. Let's see. Control and limiting media consumption, got that done. GDT as a source of inspiration, got that done. The energy slump, I want to say, was a big one. This past week, I did not get to really devote any time on leisure time. I did not get to do any gaming on Sunday, which is the day I usually do it. However, I did watch Doctor Who, the new episode, which is the third one of this season, and that kind of, I guess, counts as leisure time, because I just kind of do that, and normally I record it and watch it later on in the week, but I actually watched it while it was showing, so it's kind of a trade-off, so I count that as leisure time. But I believe tomorrow I'm going to try to squeeze in about an hour gameplay. We'll see. It's supposed to snow today, so depending on that, I might not get to do any of that at all. If it turns out to be more than what they say, then I gotta take care of stuff. So that wraps things up for this, and that's why I don't have any gaming clips to show you this week. It's mostly drawing, which is still a good thing. What else is planned for today? I need to write a blog post. I feel like I need to post it today. I'm trying to do that weekly as well, but that shouldn't be a problem getting that done. And I have to edit this and upload this video later on, sometime today. And so I think we're coming up on 12:99 timestamp. And then this video will transition into just a screenshot of my to-do list, partial to-do list. And what you'll see is just some of the main things I'm working on. Like I said, I'm working on self-improvement, creativity, and leisure time. Just kind of balancing everything and finding that sweet spot so that I can keep producing things and keep being creative rather than going through slumps. So I've got a list here, and for the most part I've got everything accomplished. Just gonna go through it real quick. Meditate daily in the morning, about 10 minutes. I've done that every morning, this morning included. I've exercised 3 times a week. I did that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's about a half an hour of exercise. This is getting back from being sick, so usually I do a little longer, about 40-45 minutes, sometimes even an hour, but I have to take it easy. I was able to draw, as you can see by the clips. Leisure time, I've discussed this earlier. I did not get to do any gaming, however I did watch Doctor Who. So I'm not sure if I wanted to check that, because my leisure time is usually my gaming time, so we'll see. Write blog posts, which falls under the creative part. Gonna do that today for sure, so I went ahead and checked that off. Journal twice a week, at least, that's minimum. Got that done. I started a new journal, so I'll probably post that on Instagram too. We'll see. Let's see, time. It's 14:29. I've got to wrap this up because the video should be ending shortly. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next week's check-in.